In this video I'm gonna show how to change the example file I've made for you to display the times a specific route with a bus, for example, goes. So you can pick out the times from Google Earth or Google Maps rather. If you set up a route where you want to go each morning, for example, you can pick the start place and the end place, and you can grab that information with Visuino and display it or act upon it or whatever you'd like. So this is how to change the file. This is not a tutorial on how to build the whole file because it's gonna demand several videos, so I'm gonna skip that for now. I'm gonna describe it briefly but not in depth. So this is the end result on a TTGo T-display. It's a little picture of a bus and the text that states what time it goes, and this time is grabbed from Google Maps. So I'm gonna just zoom in on some place. Let's take Minneapolis. I'm gonna take a start point. As long as you're a map with bus lines or subway lines or something, then you're all fine. In some countries there is none, for example Turkey and stuff like that. You don't have any bus stop information, and that's needed. So where was Minneapolis? We take Edmonton. Just take Edmonton, zoom in, take a start place. Let's say I live over here, and take the way description. That's going to be my start place, and my workplace is over here. Alright, that's a route, and how I'm gonna get there. I can do some settings. I want to go by public transportation, and I want to go the best route. But this is in Swedish, but you should see the very same. You can also change the bus, the subway or train. Alright, as you might notice, I don't live on the bus stop. So you could, if you like, move it over here, or you could actually scrape this information too, so you know when you have to leave home to fetch your bus. It's a cool feature that you can add if you like. But right now I'm gonna be sloppy and take this one, just to show that it's possible. So right, what we got here is address to Google Maps that includes all type of information I've added here. The start place, end place, what type of route I want to go with bus, or best route or quickest route or shortest route. All that information is in the address bar. So what I'm gonna do is open Visuino, the example file. First off, we have the HTTP client component, and in here we got www.google.com, and we got a get command to this address. Alright, this is to another destination, but this one we're going to change out. So we're going to go to Google, grab the information, and what we're going to get as a response is this. If you press Ctrl U, you get this information. Okay, this is what's going to be returned to this component. Unlike HTTP, the HTTP just outputs all the information here, but we're gonna use HTTPS since it's only supported HTTPS on Google Maps. So we're gonna grab that information, and the output for that socket is gonna be over here, and that's going all the way over here. I'm gonna skip some characters for easier to chop up the text. And then I'm gonna add some line breaks. And this is very important because all that information that comes as a response over here, let's take a look at how much text it is. Paste it in here, okay, mark it all. We got, let's see, 538,180 characters. So that's a lot of text. An Arduino or USB is never gonna be able to handle that amount of text as one long string. So you have to chop it up in several text strings. And that's the reason why we make new lines with these elements called ending text. So each time this text shows up in the code, and we're gonna look what we got here. Null. All right. Amount of hits is 2,374. So what you want is a word that's not relevant to you, but shows up as many times in the text as possible and spread out, not only in the end or only in the beginning, but several times in the text. And therefore you're going to have several shorter strings. All right. The next word, you can add as many words as you like. The next word is a new line in the code. So if I look at this and how many hits, oh, I got no hits at all. Let's see. Yeah, okay, fine then. You could remove it. I'm gonna let it go. I probably used it for another project. All right, this is what's returned for now. I'm gonna take the address, the end, not the whole, not the google.com or whatever you have. I'm just gonna take from the slash with the slash, copy that text, and I'm gonna paste it in, let's see, in the HTTP component under request and get, and this URL. Enter. Okay, so now it's going to grab this very same information. And what it's going to do is it's going to output all that text with several strings. And what we want to do then is split up the text and grab the necessary information, only the information that includes the times. Okay, so what we want to look for is, let's take a look at the time here. This is time I'm looking for. Let's see, that's when I'm starting walking, and this is when the actual bus is going to leave. So I'm gonna look for 9:26 in the code. So I'm gonna search here, 9:26. All right. So the text before and the text after this is what I'm gonna use as a tool to chop up the text. I'm gonna copy that and go back to this video and the text split parse component and go into elements. I've got two outputs here. One just gonna dump information, and the other one is the time that I want to extract. And how it's gonna be knowing what to extract and what to dump is in this text. The %0 is for me the same as trash. And just everything before this is gonna be dumped on that output. And then I have the text that it's gonna search for. I'm gonna paste in here. That text is what it's gonna look for. Then the %1 is whatever comes next is gonna be outputted over here, and it's gonna stop output that text when it finds this text, and that's gonna be representing, let's see what I've got here. And that's gonna be this text. And paste that in. All right. So now it's gonna look for this, dump everything before and take what's between those two places. All right? Then I'm gonna press OK. I'm just gonna double check. Looking good. Pressing OK. Then it's gonna be outputting over here. And first, this is very important to which information goes to which component in the correct order. So we don't grab the information and take a snapshot of the information too late or too early. First, it's going to feed the value to this text snapshot component. Then it's going to feed this information down to the formatted text. That's what I'm going to be displaying to serial terminal. Then the fourth here is going to be a clock trigger. It's going to add a step to the count. This is not necessary, but we're going to use it to narrow down what clock times we want to look for. So you're going to see very soon what it's all about. Then we're going to compare that step if it matches the time we want, time number 1, time number 2, and so on. And if we reach the value we want, we're going to take a clock signal and take the snapshot. So it takes the snapshot on the actual time that we are looking for. And the counter is going to be displayed in the formatted text component, just so we know what the value represents. I'm going to show very soon what it's also all about. Okay, I'm going to make sure I've got connect to upload, correct COM port, build, and press upload. All right, it's uploaded. Now it's going to connect to Wi-Fi and fetch the HTML text, and it's going to grab all the information it's looking for in that text, and it's going to output it over here. All right, I got some sort of problem. To find out what the problem is, the easiest way to do this is to take the actual output from the HTTP component and take this to the serial terminal. As well, I'm gonna skip this one for now. Upload and control what output is getting done. All right, it's going to connect. It's going to ask for the HTTP text. Oh, I forgot one big thing. It's so stupid. I never changed the Wi-Fi credentials. Of course you need to do that. So you mark the board, go into modules, Wi-Fi, connect to access point. I'm gonna change these values. I'm not gonna show what the values for my Wi-Fi is, but very soon you're gonna see the end result. All right, I've added my credentials to the Wi-Fi. Now I'm gonna upload, and we're gonna see the output text. All right, now it's connecting to the Wi-Fi, asking for the HTTP content. I'm gonna grab that and output it as several strings. Okay, we got some results. And as you see, it's going pretty slow. However, the default speed of the serial is way slower. So I've changed this value from 9,600 to 256,000. So it should be a lot slower. But just so you know, the reason why I pick up a quicker speed is because of timeout. The timeout is set, by default it's set to 15 seconds. And it's never going to be able to put out all the text all the time within 15 seconds. So therefore I've prolonged this timeout to 30 seconds. And upped the speed on the serial output. Alright, we got some information here. I'm gonna copy that information. Let's see if I can do that. Copy it. Go in here. And I'm gonna look for the time that the bus is gonna go, 9:26. 9:26. Okay, so they changed time. I'm gonna update this. Now it's 9:40. Okay, 9:40. Because the 9:26 bus has left. Alright, here's the output that we are looking for. And as you see, this is a pretty short string to search. Here we got the \n, so otherwise it would be continuing this text over here. But now it's going to end that line as well. Okay, now I'm going to drop that general output from the HTTP component, or what we want to call it, and take the formatted text. And this is going to be using all the times, the clock times, and the integer from the counter, so we know what number to set on this component. I'm going to show you very soon here. Alright, starting to output the values, all the times. Now we got 93 results. Alright, so what we're gonna look for here is the actual time that the bus is leaving. And this is the values I've set as default. Sometimes it matches, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see, we got 9:40. If the bus haven't left, it's pretty close. So let's see, we got 9:40, and I'm gonna look in here for 9:40. Okay, the 9:40 bus has left, so I'm gonna refresh this page. 9:55, and this is probably when I should be starting to walk, and the time the bus leaves is over here at the hit number 5. Number 5. Change this to 5, and I'm gonna drop this output, disconnect it, because now I've used all the information I wanted, and upload it. Alright, it's fetching the page. I'm gonna process it, and it's gonna output the result. Next bus leaves at 9:55. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So this is going to be matching this text. Alright, so it works. So he's going to be grabbing this every 30 seconds. And you don't want to lower this to, let's say, 30 seconds. You don't want to do that, because, believe me, Google is going to be flagging you. So if you're making too much suspicious grabbing of the Google Maps, they're gonna flag you. So not too often. 1 minute seems to go fairly well. Every 60 seconds it's gonna be flushing all the old connections and gonna connect one more time. So if it's gonna time out, it's still gonna be working because it flushes the connections from before. Alright, that's pretty much how it all works. The output on the display is going to be first blanking the screen with just a white text. Then it's going to be drawing a big bitmap, that's the bus. And then a text field is going to be typing out the result. And the clock is going to be saying, now we can print it out. And this one is just for debugging purposes. It's over here, but you might as well see it's a lot of spaces. Currently, if you use a custom, let's see, if you use a custom font, as I do, it's having problem with the spaces. It's going to be cramping the spaces, so it's extremely short, like 1 pixels or something. So therefore I've added a lot of spaces. If you don't want that, just take 1 space and that's it, and 1 space and that's it. If you use the non-custom, the default font, you're going to be all right. So let's see, over here in Elements, and this is a font. You could change it over here, like so. The default is over here. That one is going to be working with 1 space as well. You don't need to add extras. So that's all. Have a good day. Later.